What did all I get you for your birthday?
Okay, we're in the middle of a sugya. We're up to today's daf is daf yud. We're in the middle of a sugya. Let's reiterate what we said yesterday. Let's go over as we say in the trade. Let's chaza iba what we said yesterday. We said that Rav Meir said in a case of Moitzi Shemra, 3 dayanim. Moitzi Shemra is 3 dayanim, and the Chacham say 23 dayanim. The Chacham say 22 dayanim. So to explain the machloikis between the two, we had the first was the shita of Ula. Now, initially the guy came. He only came to be mafsid money. That's all he came for. He wasn't bringing Adim to go ahead and kill her, that she was mizana during that period. He just wanted to go ahead and be mafsid the ksuba. He goes ahead. He's believed, right? We said he's believed. He's not going to spend his expenditures on the wedding and everything and not get anything from it. So obviously, if he's saying that she was mizana, that she was the ksuba, we believe him. Good. So that's now. So 3. That would explain 3. That would explain why 3. What are the chacham? What are they worried about? They're worried about mitzvahs. They're worried about once she goes ahead. Oh, she's master the ksuba because she was mizana. They may cause Adim to come. So says Ula, if this guy comes to go ahead and testify against his wife in Dinei Mominus, initially only 23. In other words, you have to anticipate. According to Ula, you have to anticipate there's going to be 23. According to Ula, you're going to have to anticipate there's going to be 23. That was the way Ula explained the machlokes. Good. We had then the opinion of Rabbi or Rava or Rabba. Right? We're not chayish for Laz. We're not chayish for Laz. Here's what we're chayish for. We're chayish for a bezdin. We're chayish for a bezdin, the covet of bezdin. A guy's going to come. He's going to go ahead and say, I have Adim that my wife was Mizana. So if that's the case, initially, what's he coming for? Yeah. To kill her. So how many people have to convene? 23. 23 have to convene. He can't find Adim. What happens? The bezdin goes ahead and leaves. Says Rameya, we don't care if they leave. It's not the covet bezdin. So therefore, it's 3. Now, he can't kill her, but he still can be mafsir ksuba because we believe him. So that's 3. Says the Chachamim, no. Once you go ahead, you convene the best in 23, you keep the 23. That was the opinion of Rabbi. Now, tremendous nafkamina, guys, between Ula and Rabbi. Late Ula, you're going to have to bring 23 initially, according to Chachamim. You have to anticipate the future. Late Rav, it's only Nukimta. When he made a claim, if he's claiming money, it's only 3 and 3. It's only because he's claiming, I think I have Aiden to kill her, that you say 23. It's a tremendous nafkamina between Ula and Rava. Good. So then we saw Abaya. That he wants to kill her. They give Hasra, but the Hasra was what? For general Hasra. Would general Hasra kill a person or not? Will general Hasra kill a person or not? Rameh is of the opinion, no. So when it comes, the Eidim of a Hasmana, he comes to Bezdin. He's got Eidim that they wonder. What did the Eidim say? The Eidim say, yeah, we said if you do something, you're going to get killed. What does Rameh say? You're not getting killed. Why? Because you didn't say you're going to get Lichmisa. You're not going to get Skila. Whereas the Chachamim say, no, you'd have to go ahead, what? You'd have to, Rameh said, you didn't go ahead and say Skila. Therefore, since you didn't say Skila, therefore what? She's not going to get killed, so 3 is enough. Where the Chacham say, no, it's suffice to say, to know that if you're Mizana, you die, you don't have to know how you die, that would be what? That would be enough, and therefore 23. So those were the 3 opinions we said so far. Ula, Rabba, and Abaya. Now we're up to a 4th opinion, and that's the opinion of Rav Papa, and we're on Tes on the base. Actually, we're not on Tes on the base. So Tes on the base. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, just checking. Okay, so about 5 lines up. Rav Papa Amar, what are we speaking about? The Eidim come at the beginning of the Hazmana. In other words, guys, it's the beginning of Din. What's the key that they come at the beginning of Din? You're not going to worry that Eidim are going to come later down the line. Did I go ahead and not say one? Did I not say one? What I said? What? I didn't say Abaya, right?
No, you did say right. You said Abaya.
I said all 3.
Yeah. You didn't say the question on.
What? Oh yeah. Okay. Forget the question. Okay. No. Oh yeah. That was. Anyway. Okay. Good. That was the question. Right. Papa Ama Hacha be'isha chaveira askinan. We're dealing with the wife of a chaver. A chaver is a person who's learned, and we can assume that his wife is learned as well. The kamifli beplukta Rabbi Yosi Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanan, and they're arguing in the machlokes between Rabbi Yosi Rabbi Yehuda vis-a-vis whether you have to give hasra to the wife of a chaver or not. A chaver is a person who's a learned person. The Tanya Rabbi Yosi Rabbi Yehuda Omer chaver ain't sarach hasra. In order to punish a chaver, you don't need hasra. What's the reason? The whole purpose of hasra is to discern between whether the person is a shogeg or a mazid. In other words, a person does something wrong and claims afterwards, "I didn't know it was wrong." So therefore, a person can say such a thing. We tell him, 1 second, we warned you. What happens if the person can't tie to that because the person's a learned person? Then you don't need hasra.
Everyone knows it's wrong.
What? Not everyone knows everything. No, not everyone knows everything. So it could be over here. It's speaking where what? Where it's speaking where you didn't give hasra. Rapapa. Let's see how Rashi learns, because Rashi puts out little pieces of information. It's about 8 lines up from the bottom. Rapapa kid abaya nami svirle. He holds like abaya. The choshen lelaz that yechayish for laz. And therefore you have to worry that 23, you'll start off you'll start off with 3 and you'll need 23. And therefore you start with 23. And you're worried about the covet. So in other words, but for these 2 reasons, you're going to keep 23. You start off with 23 and you're going to keep 23. At the beginning of coming to din, he brings Adim with him. The Amru Shlei Hisruba. And they say we didn't give her hasra. You know why we didn't give her hasra? Because she was the wife of a chaver. And it was unnecessary for us to give her hasra. She's not going to die. You don't have to regather them. All you have to worry about is the ksuba. Again, once you didn't give hasra, all bets are off. There's no reason you're not killing her. Once there's asra, you're not killing her, right? Why? Because he's of the opinion you need asra, and you didn't give it. So once you didn't give it, you're finished. And therefore, the most you can cost the what is dinei mamanis. It's very interesting. Just a little ha'ara. L'chara was speaking about a person who has not lived with his wife yet, right? So he could be a chaver, but how's she a chaver? Usually, you say, you live with somebody. And therefore, they learn from you, right? You have, they say Rav Moshe. Someone called her Rav Moshe and said, "What bracha you make on a pretzel?" So Rav Moshe turned to his wife and said, "Was is up?" It went like this: "Was is a pretzel?" And he goes, "I'm a Zionist." They say, you have, right? That's how we would describe something by its bracha. So that's an Eishes Chava. Masha'en came where they don't live together. It's a ha'ara. It's a ha'ara. But again, you understand the mechanics of the teretz, right? The mechanics of the teretz is if you hold you need asra and you didn't give it, there's nobody you can kill. That's Reb Meir. Yeah. And the Chum say no, she's an Eishes Chava. You don't need asra, therefore you can kill her, and therefore you will need 23. Okay, that's right.
How can you say that they care about Kavod Sharishanim? Doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's to keep the 23 together. Yeah. Right, to keep the 23 together.
So with Adam, there's 23 there. How could you still say they care about?
What?
Yeah.
The Adam come initially? What? He's coming. What's the kasha?
Kasha is, right, we say that, right, Rashi says, Kedabayan Namis.
Yeah, I don't know why he has to say the second one. The Kavod Sharishanim, meaning that what? You're not going to disperse them.
Yeah.
You're not, according to the Chacham, you won't disperse them.
Well, according to Meir, you would?
Yeah, according to Meir, you would. Because according to Meir, you would. Right? Meir is not never worried about Kavod Sharishanim. Okay, now, okay, so that's the next opinion. That's the opinion out of Abaya. Okay, we need asra or not. Rav Papa is excuse me. That's Rav Papa, the Eishes Chava. Another teretz again. Rav Ashi Amar. It's amazing. Here's teretz number 5. Again, teretz number 5 to explain the difference between the 3 and the 23. It goes to the Yomid base. Test on the base, guys. It goes to test on the base. This whole sugya. Okay, Rav Ashi Amar Kigoin, the Asru Bey Malchus, Now we're dealing about a Moitzi Shemra, and you give Hasra, but you didn't give Hasra for Misa, you gave Hasra for Malchus. Now in Eitli, every Chayve Mises is a lav. So in other words, you get Malchus for a lav. You just happen to get killed also. The question is, if you would give the lesser of the Hasra, Malchus, in a case where you should be giving what? Misa, is it a good Hasra or not?
No,
Says Rashi, the Asri Bey Malchus, well, Asri Bey Katala. You gave Hasra for Malchus, but not for Katala. The Vadai Loy Miktala, you're not going to kill. Elalaika. The Eilecha Mises Bezdin, Shalaynama Balav. There's no Mises Bezdin that doesn't have a lav. In other words, Yesh B'chal Messiah Mana. Within 200, you have 100. So if 100's the Malchus, and you should be giving for 200, it's included in there already. So you're not going to kill. But what are you going to get? Get Malchus, right? Now, Shalaynama Balav. Ukasava Lav Shanitin Lasar's Mises Bezdin. A lav that you should have given warning of Bezdin. Like in a lav, you will get Malchus. Ki Asrba Malchus V'loy L'Katala. So guys, let's get set up. You should have said, you know what, if you are Mizana, you're going to get Skila. They said, if you're Mizana, you're going to get Malchus. There's a machloikus whether you get Malchus or not. You know, now this happens to be, we're holding you do get Malchus. Now here's the machloikus. How many dayanim do you need for Malchus? Do you need 3 or 23? That's the shaila. Like Remeya, you only need 3. Like the Chacham is 23. That's the machlokes in the Mishnah, right? In the Mishnah, they have that machlokes, 3 or 23. So that's the explanation over here. Says, let's see it inside. Excuse me?
Why would you need 23?
Because it has an aspect of Misa in it. It has the Malchus as an aspect of, once you're physically harming a person, it has like we say, Malchus takes a little bit of Yeshama, a little bit of time. I mean, there's an aspect of, it's not money, it's not dinei mominus, right? You're taking an epis, you're taking from the guy. Right. Now says the Gemara. The Osbe Malchus, the Osbe Katala, Ukamifgi be pluked the Rabbi Shmuel Rabbanon, and they're arguing the Machloikas between Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbanon. Did nan Malchus b'shloisha, Malchus you get 3 dayonim, Mishum Rabbi Shmuel Amru be'esim b'shloisha. So the Rabbi who said you get 3 holds like the Chachamim, and no, Rabbi Shmuel says what 23, and the Chachamim who say you need 23. Holds what? 23. So this is Ukimta. Each case is Ukimta. Now, Ravina is going to give 3 terutzim. So we have that was number 6. That was number 5. You're going to get 6, 7, and 8. Right. Ravina is going to give 3 terutzim. Okay. Ravina Amar Kegain Shenimsa Echad Min Eidim Karav Apostle. You find one of the Eidim to be what? A Karav Apostle. So you have guys 3 Eidim. Let's say 3 Eidim come. 3 Eidim come. So the question is, if I have 3 Eidim, so why do I need the third? Let's say I have 2 kosher guys and I have a third guy who's not kosher. Is it good Eidus or not? So we have this famous Gemara in Malchus. You'll remember that from your Malchus days. Rabbi Akiva is of the opinion that we're machmir. What happens if, let's say, you have 3 guys and they all say Eidim Zayimim, you're going to kill all 3 of them? You'll say the third guy, why is he getting killed if we didn't need him? No, we'll be machmir. And therefore, so over here as well, it's speaking where 3 people come. Okay, with that in mind, let's see. It's a long-winded teretz, and then we'll see what the teretz is. So the machloikis there's a machloikis gufa in Rabbi Akiva himself. There's a machloikis. So the case is you have 3 eidim who come, and one of the eidim is a karev or a puzzle, a person who's a relative, or someone who's puzzle edis. Ukamiflagi beplukta the Rabbi Yosef Rebbe aliba the Rabbi Akiva. And they argue now machloikas between Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi according to Rabbi Akiva. So we have machloikas Tanoim in the Tana Rabbi Akiva. Who are the Tanoim? Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi. The Nan. Rabbi Akiva Omer. When it says Al Pishnai made them Shloshim Eidim Yumas Ames, guys, right? Al Pishnai made them Shloshim Yumas Ames. Loiba Shlishi El Lahachmir Love. The third person we're coming to go ahead and be machmir on the third person. La'asais Dina Kayotzaboy. So Eidim Zayim come. We're going to kill the third guy as well. Why? Because he joined up with Rishayim. And Cain on a shakosev es hanitvala over avera. And if we're going to go ahead and punish the third party who's nitvala to an avera, over avera, like the 2 Eidim who doing the avera, al achas kama v'kama, certainly so. Sheyashlim schar es hanitvala oisei mitzvah. will go ahead and pay back the schar of Eis Mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. It's a kal v'chaymer. The midas of reward is greater than the midas of punishment. So if the third guy is jointly in punishment, when a third guy joins for a mitzvah and you don't need him to do the mitzvah, he's included. Okay? So again, we're just developing the shita of Rabbi Akiva. And what's the shita? The shita is that 3 is one kat, and you can't say, well, since 2 could do the job, the third person is extraneous and he doesn't count. Says Rabbi Akiva, he counts. Now, to what extent? Okay. If you have 2 people, you find the edus. Well, if if 2 people come and one of them turns out to be a Russia, he's puzzle edis, or he's a Karev, he can be a fine fellow, he's puzzle edis, butler. So then it's batal. So too, just like 2, 3 as well. If 3 people come, the third it's batal. Now that's din number 1. How do you even if it's 100? Imagine 100 people witness something, and one of them happens to be a Karev, the 100th person, Talmud Loimar, Eidim. It says Eidim. It says it twice. So the second time is to include what? Even 100. Now, we don't need this right now. Here's the buildup. Amar Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef is qualifying. When did Reb Meir, when did Reb Akiva say his din that the third person will join? When do we say this? That will punish the third person as part of the group, even though we don't need him, is b'b'dinei nefashis. Aval b'dinei mamanis tiskayim edus b'shar. But by dinei mamanis, you'll go ahead. By dinei mamanis, you'll go ahead and you'll be mitzaref the edus with the rest. Rabbi says, echa dinei mamanis, whether it's dinei mamanis, the echa dinei nefashis, it doesn't make a difference, right? We'll go ahead and say that. No, so Rabbi Yossi is of the opinion, fellas, that by dinei mamanis, Rabbi Akiva didn't say his din. By dinei mamanis, meaning, let's say 3 people come and one turns to be a Karev apostle. We'll go ahead. The other 2 is good. It works, right? That's so, and says on that. Rabbi says no, it doesn't make a difference. Dinei mamanis, dinei nefashis. If the third party adds, it's out. Okay, that's the first machlokes. So they argue there. Now, the emasai, and this is what we need. And when do we say by dinei nefashis that it's batal? This is what we need, guys. And when do we say by dinei nefashis it's batal? Bisman shehisru behem. That's dafka if you gave hasra. Aval bisman shaloi hisru behen. That's dafka where the Karev gave hasra. Aval bisman shaloi hisru behen. But when the Karev did not give hasra, ma yasu shnei achim. So you have a guy standing around, you see a guy walk over, hypothetically with a gun, and he sees a healthcare president of a company. He's walking down the street, guy pulls out a gun, kills him, and you happen to be standing with your brother and standing there with a bunch. You're going to tell me that what? That is batal? So it can't be. It can't be. So therefore, what does Rebbe say? If emasai bisman shehisru behen. In other words, when in dinei nefashis will we say that the Karev is included? Is only if the Karev gave hasra. But if the Karev did not give hasra, then what? Then we won't count it.
We won't cancel the edus.
Right? It won't cancel the edus. Right? He won't cancel the edus. Now, who said this? Rebbe said this. Now, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda said his din only on dinei nefashis, but not dinei mamanis. And Rebbe said his din even on dinei mamanis. Now Rebbe said a second din. The Gemara's assumption is just like Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yehuda argued on din number 1 with Rebbe, he'd argued on din number 2 with Rebbe. So let's set it up, guys. Right? We have 2 dinim. Din number 1 is it this din of a Karev puzzle being mitzaref when he's a third party. Is that only by dinei mamanis, dinei nefashis, or even dinei mamanis? Says Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, only by dinei nefashis. Says, but dinei mamanis, you don't need, you'll keep it going despite the fact. And Rabbi says no. Rabbi says no difference. Now Rabbi says a second din. Do you need hasra? Do you need hasra? When's the Karev apostle by dinei nefashis? That's when you dafka give hasra. But if you don't give hasra, then what? Then he's not part of the edus will be mekuyim, because the assumption is Rabbi Yosef Yehuda would say, even if the Karev did not give Hasra, he would be Mavatal the cat. So in Rebbe's scenario, if he Takev witnessed it, it would be over, even though he didn't give Hasra. Good? So again, we're establishing, just like Rabbi Yosef Yehuda and Rebbe disagree in din A, they disagree in din B. And we need din B. What's din B? When is the Karev apostle going to be mitzarif when you have 3 Eidim to passel? That's only if they gave Hasra, according to Rebbe. According to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, even if they didn't give Hasra, they'll be combined. Good? So now, in our scenario, going back to our case, going back to our case, what's our case? We have Reb Meir says he holds like Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. The Karev saw he didn't give Hasra, and since he didn't have Hasra, it doesn't make a difference. Because Rabbi Yossi Yehuda says what? You don't need to give Hasra to mevatel the whole kit and caboodle. Therefore, it's only Dinei Mamonis, part of the Mitzvah Shemra. 3. Guys, what happened over here? 3 Eidim showed up. They all said that what? She was Mizana. Let's say. They said she was Mizana, right? Will you be mevatel the Eidus or not? Will you mevatel the Eidus or not? Says Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, you won't be mevatel the Eidus. Since one of these people is a Karev, the only thing you can be mechayev for is dinei mamonis, because you're not slemich upon the Eidim now. It's he himself is going to be mechayev, right? For the lose a ksuba. So therefore, says Reb Meir, you only need 3 because you can't kill her. Why can't you kill her? Because you don't have Edis. Why don't you have Edis? Because you don't need Hasra. That's Rabbi Yosef Yehuda. Whereas Rebbe's of the opinion, no. Rebbe's of the opinion that even if you didn't need to give Hasra as long as they receive Hasra. In other words, according to the Chachamim, maybe am I saying this wrong? Am I saying this wrong? Let me see. Let me. Am I saying this wrong? No, I have to be saying. So it's speaking where you didn't give Hasra. So if you didn't give Hasra, very good. I said it wrong. If you didn't give Hasra, so good. I might. If you didn't give Hasra, the Karev didn't give Hasra. 23. That's Rebbe. Whereas Rabbi Yosef Yehuda says no. Even if you didn't give Hasra, you can't kill. It's 3. So it's good. It's good. It's good to me. I got. Let me explain it one more time. You have a situation over here where you have Eidim coming to kill this person. But one of the Eidim, what is a Karev. And you have 3. What does Rabbi Kiva say? If you have 3, they're all one kat, and therefore it's not a good Eidus. Comes along Rebbe and Rabbi Yosef Yehuda argue in the Shita of Rebbe Akiva, right? They're arguing Kufa in that Shita. That's the Machlokes in that Shita. Very geschmack. How do you know if you mitzaref to this Eidus or not? How do you know? It's a dinei nefashos. Says it's contingent upon giving Hasra. It's contingent upon giving Hasra. Everyone holds by dinei nefashos. They combine, right? That was the first machlokes. The second machlokes is whether you have to give Hasra or not. Says Rebbe, if the only time they're going to passel is if they give Hasra. They come along and they're saying, we saw it, but we didn't give Hasra. Says, you came along, you didn't give Hasra, guess what? You're good, you're out. The other 2 guys are in, and you're out because you didn't give Hasra. The fact that you didn't give Hasra shows you what they want to be an aid. Says Chachamim, therefore, we hold like Rebbe, and therefore the Bezdin has to be 23 for Mitzvah Shemra. Whereas Reb Meir is of the opinion that no, even if you didn't give Hasra, you're part of the group. If you're part of the group, then you're going to be mevatel the Eidus. If you mevatel the Eidus, there's no dinei nefashos. There's only dinei mamonis, and therefore 3 works. Okay, let's take a little right now. Let's take a break and go over the different sheetas before we do the final 2. Okay, let's take a little break. So if you have the phone from yesterday, it would be good, right? You want to see? You could see the hot copy. Okay, watch. On the right side is 3 and 23, right? All the way to the right, my right. It's always 3 and 23. Ula, number 1. You're not chayish lelaz. And therefore, we're not worried that that people hear that this guy is coming to take his wife to lose a ksuba, we're not worried that Adam will show up and say that you are chayiv. However, the Chacham are worried about that, and therefore, we worry about it. You'd have to convene initially 23. That's the key. You'd have to convene initially 23. Rava or Rabba is what is he worried about? you're coming to kill. You're coming to kill. However, you don't find Adam. So if you don't find Adam, you can't kill, correct? So why do you keep the 23? So you're starting off, you're only starting over 23 because you're coming to kill. Says Rameya, well, you're not going to kill anymore. Why? Because you can't find Adam. It's only Dini Mamonis, it's 3. Says the Chachamim, no, we're worried about the cover of the Bezdin. Once you convene 23, we're keeping 23. Okay. Then you have Abaya. Says Abaya, when you give Asra, you have to go ahead and give Asra le'eza Misa that they want. So now, they said we gave Asra le'misa, we gave Asra le'misa, but guess what? We didn't say which Misa. Oh, you think you say which Misa? It's Mamonis. Says the word, no, as long as they know it's Misa, even though which Misa, it would be 23.
So what's the case? He came in with 2 Adam and
the Adam say we gave Asra.
Okay, so
but
there's 23 people there.
There's 23 people there, right?
Okay.
There's 23 people
And
there.
then they're like, oh, we didn't say which.
We didn't say which. Okay, good. But Papa, now he's got an Eishes Chava, right? Eishes Chava. You have to give Asra to Eishes Chava. We didn't give Asra at all. We didn't give Asra at all. But Papa said, oh, you didn't give Asra at all, right? She doesn't need Asra, right? She needs, Rameh is of the opinion she does need Asra. And since she needs Asra, you can't kill her. So therefore, what? 3. And according back to Mammon, she doesn't need Eishes Chava does not need Asra, and therefore 23. Ravashi, number 5, you gave Asra to Malchus, not Lamisa. Malchus says Rameh is only 3. Says the Chachamim is 23. That's Shita number 5. Shita number 6, that's Ravina. That's the one we just saw now. That one of the Eidim is a Karev. One of the Eidim is a Karev. And the Shiler is the Karev didn't give Hasra. The Karev didn't give Hasra. Oh, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. It's Pasal Eidus. You don't have to give Hasra. You don't have to give Asra. Since you don't have to give Asra, you can bind to the cat. Right. Since you can bind to the cat, you can't kill. Right. It's Dinei Mamonis. Says the Chachamim, no. In other words, you didn't give Asra, great. You didn't give Asra, you're not part of the group. If you're not part of the group, I got to cut your radius to kill. Boom. That's number 6. Okay, now we're up to number 7. Okay. We're up to number 7. Let's see it in the Gemara, then we'll get back to the chart.
You should put over here.
Feel bad, this blog, the chart's not making the blog. This chart is a, what?
You should put it over here.
What?
The chart.
The chart over here. Okay. Benji said I should have like a little cheat sheet on the chart. Oh, like the playbook. Yeah. Okay, so Geshmak, guys. Now, that's the Iba Yasema, second line down on Tesamid Beis. Iba Yasema, Kigain, Shehisru ba Acherim, Hisru ba Edim. In other words, the Edim testified, but they never gave the Hasra. Who gave the Hasra? Someone else. So 2 people come and said to her, if you're Mizana, you're going to die. And not only you're going to die, you're going to get skila. And Edim witnessed that, but they didn't go ahead and give Hasra. Question. Do you need the Edim to be the one to give Hasra or not? Okay. Ukamithli Rabbi Yossi Rabbanon, Tetnan, Rabbi Yossi, Omer lo'olam eina nerag, ashu pishnei Edav, Masrin boy. It got to be the Edim that give Asra. Shenemar al pishnayim Edim, right? And so therefore, Reb Meir holds like Rabbi Yossi. That since you didn't give Hasra, the Edim didn't give Hasra, you can't kill her. So therefore it's 3. And the Mashen came what? The Rabbanan said you could kill her. That would be the Rabbanan of 23. Okay, guys, now, when you go ahead, we're going to see that there's something called Drisha v'Chakira by Edim. That Drisha would be, you ask general questions. What clothing was he wearing? Where was it? Where did it happen? Chakira is, what time was it? What day was it? That's the one that you can get Hazam on. Chakira. Everything, we said, everything needs Drisha v'Chakira. Side Dinei Nefashais for sure. And even Dinei Mamonis would be. We said the only reason you don't do it by Dinei Mamonis is because no one's going to lend money. Because since you can go, Adam might forget one detail, and you'll be mevatel the Adis, the guy will lose his money. So in order to ensure that commerce will take place, they did away with Drisha v'Chakira by what? By Dinei Mamonis. Okay? But by Dinei Nefashos, you have Drisha v'Chakira. Good. Now the question is do you need the Drisha? The main thing is Chakira. Again, we're going to speak this out very clearly. I'll just mention it now. We're going to, throughout the Masechta, we'll be speaking about it. Adis has tremendous power. if two Eidim come along and say this guy killed somebody, it's not like a court in the United States, right, where there's death row. Or, we believe them. What gives them that power? That two people can come along and say, "How are you testifying? Imanu Yisem, you with us on that day, and therefore you're going to die." So since there's the fear factor, now the only way to go ahead and set them up for the fear factor is through the act of chakira. What day was it? What zman was it? Hey, during that time you were with us. In other words, that's the question that will lead to it. Good. So now says the Gemara with that in mind. The Eidim were weakened in the bedikos, right? They said what Rashi brings examples. For example, was he black? Was he white? So I'm Caleb. No. Baruch. The clothing. Stop corrupting him. The garment. He said the garment, was the garment black or the garment white? That's a Drisha question. Was it a fig tree? What tree were they under? You know what I'm saying? It's a question. That's a Drisha question. So 1/8 said, "Oh, black clothing." The other one said, "No, it was red clothing." That would be where they're makish, where they're weakening each other, but that's in the level of bedika. But in the chakiros, meaning what time it was, they were both on target. Now, ukemiftically beplukta the ben zakai v'rabanon did nan ma'isa ubode ben zakai beukta te'enim. He said the oikets, the stem of the te'ena. What was it? Was it thin? Was it thick? Was it, he went ahead and he was boidik in that. So Ben Zakkai says that if the Eidim are not on par with the Jerisha part, you can be mevatel the Eidis. So very geschmack. Reb Meir holds like Ben Zakkai. That the Eidis, since they were makish each other in the Jerisha part, Eidis is off. You can't kill it, right? And Mashen came, according to the Chachamim, they held like the Rabbanon, who argue with Ben Zakkai that even if they're not on the same page in the Jerisha, as long as they're the same page in the Chakira, you would be able to go ahead and kill them. Okay, the final teretz. Sure.
You're already having the court case here. It's not like you're setting up with a 3 or 23. You're having Adam testify. That means you're already in the court case.
Yeah, Hasmana. They came to Hasmana. It was before the court case. They came to the Hasmana.
You do this before?
They want to check. Well, yeah, they're checking the Adam.
So before you set up the amount of judges you have.
What? What's your question?
My question is like, what you're
Have them see us over here.
It's already in the middle of the court case, so you're setting up either with 3 or 23. The question is, are you going to have Moshe Shema has either 3 or 23. Here, you're already setting up the case. This is already in the middle of the case, so you already have to have set up the amount of judges you have.
Send them home.
You send them home, huh?
Yeah,
It's a middle. So you ended, the court case is over, so you're not going to kill the guy, so you finish the court case.
I don't know if it's the middle of the court case. I don't understand. I think they would check out the Adam beforehand. In other words, we're checking out to see if they're kosher Eidim or not. And then they will go ahead and decide upon that. It's not like we're starting right now and you have 3 or 23. Based upon the Eidim, you'll decide how many Dayanim you need. That's you have to say that, right? I'm saying that would make sense. Based upon the Dayanim, no, I understand where you're coming from, but your question is based upon the premise, you started the court case, it's a capital punishment case, but you could ask about all the questions that, we started the court case, and the guy thought he had 80 Hazama, right? And they didn't. So they spread out, right? So over here, the guy bought Eidim, he had 23, he started, okay, this guy, they're out, they're gone. They're gone, they leave. Why? Because since we got him in the Trishis, there's no, that you have to say the same thing. Okay. So how much do we have now? That was number 7 or number 8? What? What? That was number 8. Yeah, that was number 8. Okay, so here, number 7. Ravina says the Eidim themselves didn't give Hasra. And since the Eidim themselves didn't give Hasra, you can't go ahead and kill because you need Eidim to give Hasra, and therefore it's 3. Mashenkin, the Chacham say you don't need Eidim. Therefore, as long as they received Hasra, even though from another party, it would be good Eidis. And finally, Ravina, the Eidis were caught in the Bedika. So once they were caught in the Bedika, it ruins their Eidis. So therefore, the Bezdin scatters, and you only have 3 because you only judge the Imamnis. And says the Chacham, we don't care if they're caught in the Bedikas, as long as they're not caught in the Chakiras, it would be what? It would be good Eidis. So that is the 8 ways to explain the Machlekes of Moshe Shema. It's very innocuous in the Mishnah. Oh, Moshe Shema 3 and 23, and you get this Gemara. You see, like it's amazing how difficult truly it is. Okay, Geshmak. Okay, yeah, it's very Geshmak. Let's continue on. Okay, so we have all. Rabbi Yosef, says Rabbi Yosef. Hevi habal edim shezinsa. Right, the Baal brings edim that she was mizana in the 12-month period between Erisin and Nesuin. The Hevi av edim. Now, so what did he wanted to do, guys? He wanted to do 2 things. He wanted to kill her, and he wanted her to lose her ksuba, right? If she's dying, and she's not getting ksuba. So he brought Eidim that she was mizana. Now, the father goes ahead, and he brings Eidim who said, how could you have testified that she was mizana when you were us in this place and this time? So that's called Eidei Hazama. The Chiddush of Eidim Zoimim, of course, is we believe the second one over the first one. Guys, you hear a Chiddush. Why do you believe the second one more than the first one? That's the Chiddush of Eidim Zoimim, that you believe the second one over the first one. Good. This is din in Makis. Good. So now let's go. There's 2 things over here. They wanted to kill this woman with the first pair of Eidim wanted to kill the woman. Yes. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they would get killed. What about paying the woman?
Not gets
Da 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 da. Come late.
The Eidim don't have to pay.
So the Eidim Zoimim will not have to pay. Why? Because since they're dying, but since they're dying, right? The same person that you wanted to kill was the same person you owe the money to, right? Right. That okay. You wanted to lose the ksuba. So therefore, says the Gemara, Eidei habal nerogin, the Eidei that the bull get killed, they mishalmin money, but they don't pay money. They don't pay what the ksuba is worth. Now, we spoke about him in Makis. A woman could sell a ksuba. It's a risk. It's a risk. The person who buys it, she may never collect it if she predeceases the husband. But if the husband dies or the husband divorces her, so it's that's called Toivus Hana. You won't get the full amount. Good? You won't get the full amount. So they're not going to pay that amount. Why? Because since they're getting killed, right? They're not going to pay money because the money that their death is going to pot them from Tashlumim. Now, however, let's say a second pair comes along. So you have Eidim number 1 who want to kill, Eidim number 2 from the father saying that what Eidim Zaymimim. Now the Eidim Baal says on these Eidim Zaymimim, how could you have said when you were with us on this in such and such a place? So now those Eidim wanted to kill the first Eidim. Those Eidim wanted to kill the first Eidim, right? In addition, they were causing the husband to lose 100 Meya shekel kesef. Because if he wasn't Mizana, right? She wasn't Mizana, owed money. So now there's 2 chiyuvim, right? There's the chiyuv of these Eidim wanted to kill. These Eidim wanted to kill, but they wanted to kill who? The Eidim. And there's the chiyuv money also. So now, says the Gemara, Chazav hevi abal Eidim vezimum le'edei av, and they say to him, Imanu Yisem, you with us. Eidei av neragim. They get killed because they wanted to kill the first set of Eidim, of the Baal, and they have to pay the Meya Kesef to the Baal. Right? Because again, by saying that the woman was not guilty, they caused the Baal money. And now they're saying, Imanu Yisem. So you wanted to go ahead and kill the first set of Eidim. In addition, you wanted to cause money to the Baal, and here we won't say kamle because it's two different chiyuvim. Mandy, listen. Mandy, listen, and you'll learn something. No, you'll finally learn something. Listen, kamle is when it's the same chiyuv misa and mammon. So in the first case, the chiyuv misa was on the woman, and the chiyuv money that you wanted to take away from the woman. You say kamle. Over here, the death is on the Eidim, but the payment's from the husband. You don't say kamle in that situation. Not two separate mices, two separate people. Two separate people. No, the lumdis. You hear the lumdis. So it's two separate people. The second pair, who do they want to kill? They want to kill the first pair, right? So, and the first pair wanted to kill the woman. Wanted to kill the the first pair. No. First pair wanted to kill the woman. Yeah. The second pair wanted to kill the first pair of Eidim. Now the second pair of Eidim, they're going to go ahead and kill the first set of Eidi Hazama for wanting to kill the first pair of Eidim. Mm-hmm. In addition, they want to go ahead, that Eidim, that the Eidi Hazama wanted to pay the husband 100. So now the second pair, Kashazamam, what you wanted to do, you wanted to kill, you get killed. You wanted to cost the husband 100, it's going to pay you 100. And the reason why you don't say kamle is because it's to them. So, Eidi Avner Rogin, right? Umishalmin money. You know why? Shemamin lezeh, the mammon the chayiv is lezeh is to the husband. Unefash is lezeh, and the chayiv is for the Eidi Abal. Guys, you got that? It's very geschmack. It's a very lamdish gemara. Very lamdish gemara. V'amar Rabbi Yosef. Okay, gets even more lamdish. A guy says, so-and-so did an act of znus to me. He doesn't act as znus to me. That's what he said. But it was against my will. He forced himself upon me against my will. Hu va'acher mitztarfin l'holgoy. Him and another person could be mitztarf to kill Harry. Let's call Harry was a naif. The person who had the act of znus done to him can combine with what? With another aid to kill Harry, because this guy's not a Russia. The guy it was against his will, so he's not a Russia. So there's no reason not to count him out. To count him, he's a kosher aid. We can go ahead and count him. However, what happens? It says the following: Harry was mizana with me, and I agreed to it, an act of mishkav zacha. So he says, he's saying I'm a Russia. So in that case, Russia who? The Torah says, I'll touch this Russia aid. A Russia can't be an aid. Therefore, this person who said that he did it willingly cannot be mitzvah with another aid. Hang in there. He can't be mitzvah with another aid. Rava Omar says, Rava, guess what? Adam Karev Eitzel Atzmai. But this guy said on himself, we can't accept. He can't say this on himself. He can't say this on himself. You know why? He's carved to himself, but he's believed on the other guy. He's believed on the other guy. Right. Now, could he make himself a Russia? So we're going to say Pagin and Dibura. We're going to go ahead and make. In other words, we're going to be polig. Okay, so that says Gemara. We'll see Rashi in a second. Shadam Karvei Tzalatzmai ve'in Adam Meisam Atzmai Russia. Says Rashi, guys. Says Rashi. Lo einsai al karchai. Hu va'acher hanir v'hazeh. This person who had the averi done to him. Kasha leheid olav. He's kasha to testify against the person who did this disgusting act to him. V'myesh acher imai. And if we'll have another person as a result, another person that can combine with him, nerag ha'revei al PM. In this case, Harry, the reveya, will be killed. That's if he said einsai. What happens if he said, I did it willingly? Then says Rabbi Yosef, Al Tashis Russia aid. Al Tashis Yadcha, you can't go ahead and become, you can't be part of that. That's Rabbi Yosef. Says Rava a Chidish Nifla. Says Rava, when he said that what? He said that what? That he testified that he did it willingly, we won't accept his edus. Rava Amar Ein Adam Nifsal Le'edis Boidas Piv. A person cannot be puzzle Le'edis through his own adah. The Adam Karavetz Latzmai. Guys, you want to make him into a Russia based upon his testimony? We won't accept his testimony. We don't accept it. Hilkach, ein Adam Yachal Losem Atzmai Russia. Kloimar, Al Edis Atzmai Einay Naser Russia. through his own edus, he won't become a Rasha. Now, if he's not a Rasha, he can testify. So, Shahari Torah Pasla Korav Edus. V'nerag haraveya. Now the question is, so good he can, how could this guy good on himself? He's not believed, but still, how could you accept to say this vis-a-vis this guy? I said that Gemara says v'nerag haraveya. The palgina and dibura will divide up his words. Himnina lei legabe chavei will believe him regarding his chaver. But we won't believe him by himself. He's on himself, he's not believed. On the other person, he is believed. So if there's an other person with him, we're going to go ahead and say Palgin and Dibura. I'm going to go right to Ashi. So says Rava, Machlaikis, says Rabbi Yosef, if he said I did it willingly, we will pass him for Edis. Says Rava, we will not pass him for Edis. Palgin and Dibura will take away what he said about himself, and we'll go ahead and kill Harry if there's another person with him. Now, another case. The Amarava, Ploini Ba'al Ishti. A guy says, so-and-so is mezana with my wife. Huva Acher mitztarfin lahargai. Each one can go ahead and be mitztarf to kill. Avaloi laharga, but not to kill her. Not to kill her. My kamash belong the Palginon the Bidibura. You're going to say what? Palginon, right? That you're taking his words and you're saying he's a karev to his wife, correct? Mm-hmm. So how do you go ahead and kill him? It must be that what? We would say we believe on him and not believe on his wife. So it's Palginon Dibura. Again, what's the Palginon? I'm believed to say that my wife is mizana with him. I'm believed on him, but on my wife, I'm not believed. Palginon, it's a karev. I'm a karev to my wife. So just like I'm not believed on myself, I'm not believed on my wife. The Gemara asks right away, the obvious question, I know hach, it's the exact same thing. Says the Gemara, my kamashmal and the Palginon Dibura, I know hach. What's the difference between him? What's the difference in his wife? We say a person's karev to himself, that we will say. Guys, that is a karev to himself, that we will say. And therefore, we'll say Palginon because we'll take him out of the equation. But maybe you say that what? We don't say he's a karev. Meaning what? He's a full-fledged aid and he'd kill his wife too. How do you know that he's not an aid? In other words, we'll say he's a karev for himself. But how do you know he's a karev to his wife? Maybe he's not a karev to his wife, and therefore we'll kill his wife based upon his testimony. Says the Gemara, Kamash Malon, that what? He's a karev to his wife. That's the chiddush of the next case. V'amar Rava, we'll go to the two dots because it's one sugya. V'amar Rava, Ploini Baal Nair Murasa. Ploini came on a Nair Murasa, but he doesn't say which Nair Murasa. Doesn't give a name. Ploini Baal Nair Murasa, V'huzmu, and what? And then they become Eidim Zayimim, they're rogim, they get killed, they mishalmim mammon, right? They don't pay money. After all, who's going to pay to? Teres Chaim says, the Adramah says later on it became clear that who it was. So what's the chiddush, right? So it became clear. But when he said his aid, it became clear that he didn't want to. It wasn't an Indian money because she wasn't. He says the guy was Berlin Marasa. That's all. And later on down the line, he didn't say who it was. It became clear that this was this one. So therefore, there is the possibility to give it. We're not going to give it, right? Nerogin v'mishalmim mammon. Bita shel ploini, so and so for huzmu nerogin u'mishalmim money, and he's going to pay money. You know why? Because mammon lezeh, the girl, v'nefashos lezeh, edim. V'amarava ploini rava hashar. Ploini was arveya a shar for huzmu nerogin v'mishalmim mammon. They don't have to pay the worth of the shar because again, based upon your testimony, you're going to kill the shar also. Shar shel ploini. This is the case of Bita, the exact same case for huzmu nerogin. Or mishalmim money, because it's mammon lezer and nefashos lezer. Hasulam ali hanu hach is the exact same case. Says the reason we bring it is because it's a shaila. Shem the kaboy boy al ave, because Rava is going to ask a shaila. The boy Rava, Pliny Rava shoyri, Pliny didn't act this to my shar. So Pliny's chayv misa, and my shar is supposed to die, right? Which gonna show you yisakel. Mahu mi amin an adam karev etzel atzmai venam karev etzel memaynoi. And he would be believed on the animal and kill the animal as well. Guys, if he's not carving his animal, he would kill the animal. We're killing the person with another aid and kill the animal too. Or do we say that is carved vis-a-vis the animal, and therefore he's not believed vis-a-vis the animal, and the animal would still live? And that Gemara says, Basa the boy had the pashta, Adam Karev Eitzel Atzmai, Vein Adam Karev Eitzel Mamayna. Enochinami, he's a Karev by himself, we'll say Pagino, right? But regarding his money, he's what? Regarding his money, he's not a Karev, and therefore, if he says Ploni was Raveya, my Shar, he'll kill Ploni and also kill his Shar.